Now, there's no doubt about it that a lot of Star Wars fans had many different issues with the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series since it debuted back in May, and ended, of course, not that long ago, and it left a lot of fans around the world very confused about what Joby Harold and Deborah Chow were thinking with some of the choices that they made in the actual series, and how it even got approved by the Disney higher-ups at the time. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing is for certain is that Kathleen Kennedy, yes, had a large hand in the Kenobi TV series because she had a lot of creative power over the Kenobi movie trilogy that was planned before it turned into an actual series. So let's just put that into perspective there. Now, that's why exactly a lot of parts of the Kenobi series were in Kathleen Kennedy's favor, and exactly why you have some good parts in there and a lot of bad parts in the Kenobi series. Now, I get it, some people out there love the Kenobi show, and that is perfectly fine and okay and all. However, focusing on both Ewan McGregor and Kathleen Kennedy, there's been quite a bit of things happening behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm, based on how Ewan McGregor has been a lot more vocal lately, about a lot more talkative, if you will, about his experience on the sets of the Kenobi series, and exactly what could have been, and how that really set off Kathleen Kennedy, and how essentially what's happening is that there is a lot of drama between the Disney executives, Kathleen Kennedy and Ewan McGregor, about what Ewan McGregor actually unveiled about the Kenobi TV series. So, moving forward from all of this, alright, we already know that Ewan McGregor has a multi-show contract deal. Essentially, what that means is that he will be returning in multiple Star Wars TV shows, one of which is, of course, the second season of Obi-Wan Kenobi that's in the early development phase. Now, with that being said, alright, with both Disney and Lucasfilm now getting ready to make some major announcements at D23 and Disney Plus Day, creators Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau will also be involved at these new events to unveil new Star Wars TV shows and more. Now, further, it's described, however, that recently many things have been happening behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm between Kathleen Kennedy and Ewan McGregor, after McGregor has been very vocal about what happened behind the scenes of the Kenobi TV series, and his thoughts on the deleted footage has stirred up some drama between Kathleen Kennedy and Ewan McGregor now. Further, it's described that currently Kathleen Kennedy wants to fire Ewan McGregor from Disney Star Wars, as she is trying to convince Disney executives to cancel all the plans for Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 2, along with his multiple contract deals with Disney and Lucasfilm. Now, this comes after Ewan McGregor talked more about how Kathleen Kennedy was the cause of deleting the footage from the series that could have actually given fans an extra 3 episodes alone. Something that Kathleen wanted to keep under the radar and hidden from the public. Now, this has now caused conflict over at Lucasfilm, as Kathleen Kennedy wants to get rid of Ewan from the continuation of Kenobi and other Star Wars TV shows in the early development phase already. Now, further, Disney executives, however, thankfully are now listening to Kathleen Kennedy, are not listening to Kathleen Kennedy at all, and are still moving forward with the Obi-Wan Kenobi second season. Now, additionally, at no surprise, Kennedy did not like the fact that Ewan revealed details about the plans for a third duel between both Vader and Kenobi that was cut from the series. So, let me just stop right here for 1 second before we move on to the next thing that escalates everything. So obviously, Kathleen Kennedy does not like her initial plans or things that she deleted getting, called out by either an actor or a crew member, whatever it may be. Basically, what is going on here is that Kathleen Kennedy essentially just wants to get rid of Ewan now because he's been more talkative about the Kenobi series. A almost similar thing, by the way, happened with Mark Hamill, when Mark Hamill and Kathy got into a lot of drama when he was unveiling a lot of his, feelings about The Last Jedi in those interviews, and basically trashing on the movie, really kind of saying some bad things about Rian Johnson's direction of Luke. Disney did not like that, and Kathleen Kennedy did not like that, and they essentially forced Mark Hamill to recourse what he said, and to essentially pretty much act like he supported The Last Jedi. And you guys may have seen that big shift where all the interviews that he was involved in, I guess you could say from summer of 2018, ranging all the way up until when The Rise of Skywalker came out, he was just praising The Last Jedi, like loving the movie and loving Rian's direction of Luke. It was like a big flip-flop situation. So here we have a similar scenario. I mean, here it's a little bit different, but Kathleen Kennedy essentially wants to get rid of Ewan and fire him, or trying to convince the Disney executives to let him go, but the executives are not having it. They're not listening to Kathleen Kennedy, thankfully for a specific reason, and that is, of course, she really has no creative power over many of these shows, including the casting. Alright, she only has a lot of control over the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew strictly, and that is it, period, the end. So, that's, of course, where a lot of things begin to actually happen here, is that something also that Kathleen Kennedy wanted to keep a big secret from the fans, as this was a fight that was going to be more intense than the fans got in episode 3 of the show. So originally a duel on Fortress Inquisitorius was going to take place in episode 4 between Vader and Kenobi using the iconic John Williams themes. All of this was erased by Kathleen Kennedy as she believed this was too much attention towards Vader and Kenobi in episode 4, as she wanted to focus on Reva interrogating Leia for the most part in this episode. Because of what Ewan revealed to fans through various interviews and such, Kathleen Kennedy does not want Ewan back on the sets of Star Wars. What works in Disney's favor, though, is that Kennedy has no creative power over any other Star Wars show, like I say, except Acolyte and Skeleton Crew, and so these demands have not gone that far for Kathy at all. Now, so far, Ewan is already attached to 3 other Star Wars TV shows that will be announced at next year's celebration that will take fans by surprise. Additionally, there has been a constant struggle between executives and Kathleen for a while now, based on her horrible performance handling the Acolyte series in pre-production with all of the various rewrites that have taken place. So that's another thing that I think a lot of fans need to be aware of, is that this basically equals that Kathleen Kennedy felt very threatened when Ewan McGregor unveiled that there was a lot more footage to use that could have added up to an extra 3 more episodes of the Kenobi series, as well as Kathleen Kennedy being the cause of deleting the John Williams themes of Duel of the Fates and Battle of the Heroes, etc. that was supposed to be in the show, and she didn't like that being known. She didn't like Ewan McGregor talking about that, of all these initial plans that they had, and given that, yes, he was an executive producer, he felt responsible for how the Kenobi series was received to a lot of fans out there, but it wasn't entirely him. You know, he only could have done so much as an executive producer because Kathleen had a lot of creative pull on this actual show, so let's just make that clear as well. So, the good news is that it does not look like Ewan McGregor is going to get fired or let go. That just does not seem like it's going to happen in reality, but Kathleen Kennedy wants this. She wants him fired. She wants to get rid of him because of that. And there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes at Lucasfilm because, well, it really is nothing new to us, the fans. There's always some kind of thing going on over there between creatives or crew members, whatever have you. There's a lot of things always happening with Lucasfilm, and in my experience, looking at those associated with the company on Twitter, they really act like they're in high school many times. I mean, it's always drama this and drama that. So overall, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to morning.